Hey everybody, welcome to Detour Ahead, everybody's favorite Tuesday afternoon podcast where we get together every Tuesday afternoon and we do a podcast. It's such an amazing premise that nobody's ever thought of this before. I'm Riley, this is Colo Chew,
Hello.
and we're here on a Tuesday afternoon to bring you this podcast that will come out midnight on Wednesday. In theory. In execution, we'll see, but I should be fully capable. It literally takes me 5 minutes to edit this show. I should be fully capable of getting it up on time, even though we're recording tonight. But knowing my track record, it is a 50-50 shot. So you're either hearing this at midnight on Wednesday, or probably at like 7:30 on Wednesday when I upload it before I go to work. Might be the more likely scenario. But Colo Chew, have you been, my friend?
Fucking fantastic. Work sucks. I finessed the fucking system.
Yo, how'd you do it? How'd you pull the devious lick?
Um. Okay, nobody knows I have a podcast. I had to do a little mental check of if anybody at work knows that I do a podcast and knows what it is. They do not.
No, I
So,
actively can't talk about my dark work secrets because it is a common fact of knowledge. Not that I expect that any of my bosses will ever go out of their way to listen to a podcast that I do, except for once. One did, and it was not as embarrassing as it could have been. It was just an episode of Pixels. She probably didn't understand it at all because it was video games. The only embarrassing thing that came out of it was she learned of my nickname Pegasus and started calling me that to fuck with me.
gotcha. So, yesterday, Monday, I got a small little dumb baby route because I didn't have my normal big ones, right? I
Yeah.
only had like 130 stops. I was like, oh shit, okay, this will take me to like 6:30 if I go my normal pace. That's not bad. So I start going. It starts raining like just a little bit, and I look at the weather, and it's supposed to like storm in like an hour or two. And I'm like, fuck this. So I start running. I start running these stops as fast as I can from van to front door back to van, running all day. I finished by 4:15, and which is really really early. I finished by
They're gonna
4:15.
start
I
expecting this behavior out of you, Kolochi. You can't do too good.
No, I have been slacking, so I have to go back to like normal hardworking me for a little bit, and
I
then
have
I'll
to
start
actually work
slacking
hard for a
again.
while. Pray for me, boys.
No, I'm working hard now so I can look good so my word actually means something when I say, "Hey, I want to go do something else." Anyway, so I call our dispatcher and I'm like, "Hey, I'm done with my route." And they're like, "Oh, I got some bad news for you." And immediately my brain goes, "Nope, I got bad news for you." And I pull the Uno reverse card out and tell them I have to go pick my mom up from the airport at 6. So they're like, "Oh, well, uh you don't have." I'm like, I have no time to go help anybody else. Sorry. So I end work by like 5 o'clock. I only worked for like 4 hours. Big Uno reverse card.
So how does that work in terms of how you get paid? If you finish a route early, you're just like on the clock until 9 and they have you go help people unless you have to pick up your mom from the airport.
It varies. So if my numbers were good yesterday, we have an incentive to where as long as you don't get any speeding violations or driving violations, like seatbelt or whatever, um, you get to clock 10 hours for the day. So regardless of how long your route takes, you get 10 hours for the day.
Oh, that's sick as hell. What the fuck? That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's why I hurried up. I was like, I'm getting paid for 10 anyway, might as well go fast.
I need to learn how to
Most of the time
drive
I
so I
don't,
can
but
deliver packages. Seems like a stacked job.
yeah. So that happened yesterday. Um Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
I'm pretty sure people know what company you look for. Do you look for? That's not the sentence I meant to say. I'm pretty sure you said what company you work for, whereas I keep that close to the chest as I can.
I mean, it's either UPS, FedEx, USPS, or Amazon. There's literally only 4 delivery companies that are major that I could
I
work
feel like you've literally said which one it is, but because you're being coy about it, I won't say which one it is. But I
I mean,
think you've said
don't.
it
I
before.
try my best not to say where I work, but no, I'll say where I used to work because I don't work there anymore and I don't care.
True.
But
I've only ever had one job my entire life, so and it's the 3 years strong, almost.
Jesus, it's been happy birthday, by the way. We didn't say that last episode. Happy birthday.
God, yeah, I guess last episode was pretty fucking close to my birthday, huh? Well, now it's passed, and I am 1 year older.
I missed your birthday and I feel terrible and I'm
I
so
didn't even
sorry.
realize that was a thing that you did. Like, we had talked in such close proximity to my birthday that if you hadn't said happy birthday, my brain just kind of assumed that you did. So I
No,
was
because
just
I
like,
woke up on the
okay.
17th and I was like, 17, 17. Fuck, it's not the 14th. And I texted you like that morning.
Did I even respond? I just thought it was
No,
funny how
no,
distressed about it you
you didn't
were.
respond for days. I
Oh
texted you
Lord.
yesterday morning and you didn't respond until today to talk about
To
podcasts.
ask about podcasts because, as I made a great funny joke about during the intro, we are recording this on a Tuesday afternoon rather than our usual Sunday evening time slot. Not Sunday evening, Saturday evening is when we do this show. Sunday evening is the MoCast, which we haven't done in a very long time because our editor quit. So we have not done the MoCast in a while. We were supposed to do one last week, this past Sunday. And then what happened is I do this sometimes with the MoCast where Mo and Robin forget things a lot. So what I'll do if I don't want to do the MoCast, instead of just saying I don't want to do the MoCast, is I'll just wait. Because usually I'm the one who has to remind everybody. So all I have to do is do nothing. And then nobody shows up. So that's what happened on Sunday. Is I was super depressed and tired, and I was like, "Oh God, I got to do the MoCast," and I'm like, "Hey, let's just feel the night out. Let's just see if Mo or Robin say anything," and they didn't, and we didn't.
Is that what happened Saturday?
Saturday, I told you straight up that I didn't want to do the podcast.
Yeah, you were just depressed and tired.
Yeah, same thing, same general principle. I'm depressed and tired a lot these days. Sometimes I can put my goofy mustache and glasses on, like, you know, from a disguise from like a children's television show, so and be a funny guy. But a lot of the times I am in fact tired and depressed, and that makes things increasingly harder. Also, was a problem yesterday, which is why this week's issue crew, which I am very excited to hear, stars only Andrew and Jason, and I'm very excited to see what those two in particular cooked up together.
That seems really interesting.
Literally, I actually did show up, and so did Demi, Gloom, and Mo, and we were kind of like, okay, like, what are we gonna do the show about? Hey, Demi, do you maybe want to run the show? Because I kind of don't want to be here. And then we eventually came to like, what if we just let Andrew and Jason do it? And they're like, yeah. Let us cook, bro. We got this. So me, Demi, and Mo left, and we just let them do the podcast.
You let those two... Okay. That seems really interesting. That's okay.
Listen, Jason has to edit, so whatever slurs were said, he's the one who has to bleep them out. It's not my problem.
Anyway. So yeah, not much has been going on since last week. So
Yeah, I get you. I've just been same old general story besides that time that I turned a year older, but that was mostly nothing also.
yeah, but now it's not hypothetical drinking anymore.
Yes, now I can talk about the real alcohol that I drank in real life. Only of course starting 4 days ago, not a day before. I guess the alcohol to update that is I did like immediately the morning of my birthday go and buy like 2 cans of Mike's Harder, if only to feel the power of purchasing alcohol myself.
We've all been there. Mike's Hard is good. It depends on what flavor it is, but it's not.
I got strawberry pineapple and it kind of sucked. I'm gonna try a different flavor next time.
So I'm gonna do
a Twisted Tea guy, but I was like, yeah, but I'm kind of working on a limited budget, and Mike's Harder has more alcohol than Twisted Tea, and Strawberry Pineapple sounds good. It wasn't good. I'd probably prefer just regular style lemon if I had to guess, because I am a lemonade freak. So
That's fair.
that'll
I'm
probably
gonna
be
do
what I
a
get next
thing
time.
real quick. Hi to you who definitely listens to these podcasts. My sister listens to these podcasts now. She skips all the Pokemon ones. She doesn't like Pokemon, which is fine. That's understandable. I'm still surprised.
I'm glad I've started putting it in the. I'm glad I've started
but,
putting it in the title so that your sister can avoid it accordingly.
but like she texted me the other day and she's like, "Oh my god, you talked about me on the podcast," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'll do it again," and she's like, "You won't," and I'm like,
Bitch, bet.
"Bitch, bet. I'll do it. I don't care."
Shout out to Colo Chu's sister. What's up?
She's the only one in the family who has actually gained access to all my social media somehow.
She found your secrets, your deep, dark, buried secrets.
It's not buried. All you need to know is my Twitter.
In fact, it's the opposite of buried.
Twitter
it's
everywhere.
all publicly posted on the internet, but
if you go on my Twitter, you can find my YouTube and the name of the podcast that I'm on. So that's it. That's everything.
God, we've been doing the show for a while. It's crazy when I look at the episode count and I'm like, it feels like this should be lower.
We are coming up on a year.
I guess, yeah, that's true.
Technically, not a year of 52 episodes, but a year of the first episode that came out, which is still crazy to think about.
When did the first episode come out? It was December of last year, wasn't it?
No, the first episode was released right after we recorded.
Oh, it was December of... Have we been doing this podcast since... It's been a year then, if it wasn't this past December, because it was definitely December.
No. Kitchen Appliances came out in July 22.
Kitchen Appliances was like our first episode. Yep, that's correct. That is a thing we did for the first episode. It was July of 2022?
Yes.
Oh no, that's the re-upload date. It was uploaded to the Riely Podcast mega feed in December. So it has been a year.
Our 1 year is July 22 because
that's the anniversary of our podcast feed, even though 2 episodes came out before that.
2 episodes? What?
Yes, before our feed was established, the one that you're looking at.
Okay, yeah,
yes, yeah. There were 2 episodes that were at first Riely Podcast mega feed, and those came out in, I believe, December and like April. I think there was a long multi-month stretch between those 2, and then we started getting semi-regular and then regular from there. But there was like a 4-month gap, and our podcast did technically start in December of 2021 or 2022. I don't know, man. December of 2022 was 4 months ago, so that's not true. So it must have been December 2021.
Anyway, I'm going with our 1 year is when our feed starts.
Okay, that is a fair.
We're going to completely ignore the Detour Ahead lore that has stated multiple times that there were multiple breaks in between 1 and 2, and we're just going to say that 1 and 2 were uploaded in the same month.
The same day, even, because they were new.
Brand new in July. July is the anniversary of Detour Ahead.
Of course.
Still crazy that we've been doing this for over a year.
Yeah, it is
but
wild.
Today, it's not Nostalgia Cast, really. Today is story time.
Wow, we're actually getting there. You know, the last.
I have a lot to read.
You see, the last 2 times we've recorded, we did have a topic, and we just decided, nah, just talk instead. So I'm glad.
I want to jump into this because I want to get this shit off my desktop.
Okay, that's a fair reason, I suppose.
I literally have these black boxes sitting here, just waiting to be read, so I can get them off my desktop. So, Riely, would you like to explain what we are talking about today, or what we're going to be reading
today? Because if you'll remember, last week you got to witness live on the podcast as I introduced Colo Chu to the wonderful world of ChatGPT, and he started cooking, and that was her first mistake. She started cooking in her head, and then she was like, "What if?" dramatic retelling of Devil Went Down to Georgia. And then from there, it devolved into
See,
multiple
I don't
dramatic
think that was
retellings.
on podcast though.
No, that was not on podcast. That is new lore that I'm explaining. The on the podcast, we listened to you get introduced to ChatGPT, and then later that evening,
After the podcast, I
you
started
started
cooking a little bit. Yeah. So, what we have for you today are dramatic retellings of famous songs, such as "The Devil Went Down to Georgia." So, as told by AI. As told by
What
AI.
titling for this episode? Can we think of like a catchy, like if we started a company and the premise of that company was we make AI dramatic retellings of songs, what would we call that company? What would be our snappy name?
I have no idea.
If we were
We'll
young
try to figure it out.
entrepreneurs.
We'll figure it out as time goes by. We got this.
I have 2 songs. You have like 5, right?
Yes,
So
I do.
we'll just take turns until I run out, and then you'll read what you have left.
I was thinking I do 2, you do 1, I do 1, you do 1, I do the last 2.
That sounds confusing, but if you can keep track of that, then sure thing, buddy.
I got you here. This is exactly what I'm gonna do because I already have them in the order that I want to read them. So I'll put 2. Look, I know what I'm doing. All right, I got this. I'll let you know when it's your turn. All right, so the first story that we have for you today, as retold by AI, it's "Devil Went Down to Georgia." Once upon a time in Georgia, there was a fiddle player named Johnny. One day, a strange man with a pointed tail and horns on his head appeared before him. It was none other than the devil himself. The devil said to Johnny, "I hear you're the best fiddle player in these parts, but I bet you can't beat me in a fiddle playing contest. If you win, I'll give you a solid gold fiddle, but if I win, I get to take your soul back. I get to take your soul with me to hell." Johnny was hesitant at first, but he couldn't resist the temptation of a solid gold fiddle. He agreed to the contest, and the devil summoned his own fiddle. The contest began, and Johnny started playing his fiddle with all his might. The devil played his own fiddle with such skill and speed that it seemed impossible to beat him. But Johnny didn't give up. He played his fiddle with such passion that it echoed through the mountains and the valleys. The devil was impressed, but he knew that he had one more trick up his sleeve. He offered Johnny a deal. He would play his fiddle first, and if Johnny couldn't match his performance, then he would automatically lose the contest. Johnny agreed, and the devil started playing his fiddle, but something strange happened. The devil's fiddle started smoking, and his fingers moved faster and faster until he played his final note. The crowd gasped in awe, but Johnny was not intimidated. He picked up his fiddle and started playing a tune so beautiful and haunting that it made the devil shiver. The crowd erupted in cheers, and the devil knew that he had been defeated. A conceded defeat? He conceded defeat and handed Johnny the solid gold fiddle. Johnny's soul was safe, and he had proven that sometimes passion and heart can triumph over pure skill.
So
I don't know where the crowd
devil
came
went
from.
down to Georgia. I've never heard this song in my life. How accurate is that to the song?
It's relatively accurate. They're definitely missing a few things. It seems like there's 2 separate contests that happen.
Also, maybe this is just like my weird, like pretentious, let's pick apart the logic of stupid bullshit talking, but like, what is the appeal of having a solid gold fiddle? Why specifically would you decide I'm gonna put my soul up on I'm gonna slap my dick on the table and take this bet for this gold fiddle in exchange for my goddamn soul? Like, I guess it's like if you just sold it, you'd get a lot of money, and like maybe people would risk their lives for that. But I feel like if somebody offered me a solid gold fiddle in exchange for my soul, I'd just be like, that seems impractical. You could just give me the cash value of a golden fiddle. Like, it's a very impractical item. So I would only sell it anyway. And also, It's probably not worth my soul, also, is a fact about that.
So, in the original song, It's just the devil and Johnny. Johnny is a very, very good. So let me go over the lyrics in my head.
Now here's the story dramatically retold by Colo Chew.
No. So the devil was in a bind and he was looking for a soul to steal, right? So like he was running low on souls. So that's why he came across Johnny, who was playing a fiddle really, really good. So the devil got confident and basically was like, "Yo, Johnny, you want this golden fiddle, dude? Because like I don't think you can earn it." And they basically like battle it out. But like the one thing that they missed or they messed up here was randomly halfway through a crowd joins in for some reason. I don't know why there's a crowd. There's no crowd in the original in the song.
Listen, man, if you see Satan having having a musical
like,
tool,
halfway
you're
through the
probably
story,
gonna
a
gather all
crowd
your
shows
closest
up.
friends.
And also in the contest itself, the devil starts the show and he calls a band of demons to join in. There is no band of demons in the show or in this reading, but I guess it is a little bit more dramatic. But so that is The Devil Went Down to Georgia as retold by AI.
Pretty good. I was pretty enthralled in that story. ChatGPT did a good job of enthralling me in the story of Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Now, this next one, I'm not exactly sure if I don't know how well it lines up. I know the story vaguely. But it's called Whiskey in the Jar. So, once upon a time, there was a daring highwayman named Jack who roamed the countryside robbing wealthy travelers and merchants. Jack was clever and cunning, always managing to stay one step ahead of the law. One day, Jack decided to visit his sweetheart, Jenny, who lived in a small village not far from where he often carried out his robbery. Jack arrived at Jenny's house and was greeted with open arms. Jenny was happy to see her love, but she also knew that Jack was a wanted man. Despite the danger, Jack decided to stay the night with Jenny. As they sat by the fire, Jack, there's a lot of J's. Jack notices a glint in Jenny's eyes. She had a mischievous grin on her face as she revealed a secret stash of whiskey hidden away in a jar.
Hell yeah.
Jack couldn't resist the temptation and took a swig of the whiskey. The drink was strong and smooth, and it quickly went to Jack's head. He felt emboldened and full of life.
I feel like I should be scared right now. I feel like something's gonna happen to this man because he drank the whiskey in the jar. I'm concerned for this individual.
As the night wore on, Jack and Jenny sang and danced, and Jack regaled her with stories of his daring exploits. But the merriment was interrupted by the sound of approaching horsemen. The law had finally caught up with Jack. He quickly realized that he had been betrayed by someone he thought he could trust, but he wasn't going down without a fight. Jack grabbed his trusty pistol and prepared to make his escape. With the whiskey still coursing through his veins, he charged out of the house and into the night, ready to face whatever lay ahead. The gunshots rang out as Jack made his stand. He fought fiercely, was eventually overwhelmed and outnumbered. In the end, Jack was captured and sentenced to hang for his crimes. But his legend lives on, and the story of Jack and his whiskey in the jar was passed down from generation to generation. Even now, his name is still whispered in hushed tones, and the memory of his daring exploits lives on.
So not to get caught up in the details here, but so it was a setup, right?
Yes.
She set him up and she gave him some whiskey in a jar. Was the whiskey in the jar tampered with in any way, or was it just like if he's drunk he won't win?
Yes.
But
Right,
I've never
let's
heard
see
that
how
song.
close
What an
this
interesting premise.
Oh, this is actually really, really close. I didn't think this was that close. I thought this was like one of those off the rail, out of pocket type deals. But no, it's according to Wikipedia, Whiskey in the Jar is the tale of a highwayman who, after robbing a military or government official is betrayed by a woman.
Wait. Wow. That's what a song. I'm learning of some new musical pieces here today.
All right. So, Riley, what have you brought?
All right. Oh, Craig. Oh, I love you. Oh, how great you are, Craig. I'm It's fine. Everything's gonna be fine. It's just Geark. Don't worry about it. So so what I did is, so one of the songs I have, here's the thing about it, I've never heard this song. I've just heard so many people talk about it that it's just like Colo kind of like caught me off guard and was like, do some songs, dramatic retellings on ChatGPT. And I'm like, what is a song in which events happen and like there's a plot that I know? And the first thing I thought of is this song that I've never heard, but I've heard a lot of people talk about. Trapped at the Drive-Thru by Weird Al Yankovic. And I've never heard this song in my life.
Neither
So
have I.
for all I know, this could be accurate, except I did do some skimming through the lyrics of Trapped to the Drive-Thru by Weird Al Yankovic. Does not seem to even approach what happens in this story. So let me spin you a tale as according to ChatGPT, what Trapped to the Drive-Thru by Weird Al Yankovic is. It's perfect that we both never heard it, because this is going to be our pitch for the song, because this is of course exactly what occurs in the song. So it's also pretty long, and also I thought it was just lyrics, but it's not. That's why I looked up the lyrics to confirm that it wasn't just the lyrics to this song. Because everything like has rhymes, and I don't know why.
That happened to me a few times, but I regenerated the response and got an actual story.
No, this is a story, but it also has a bunch of rhyme. Like it's like a weird like poem. Or like, when somebody gets on a stage and like does like a hype when they're like, that metaphor doesn't work because I forgot what I was gonna say actually that made the metaphor make sense. So instead it was nothing. But okay, Trapped at the Drive-Thru by Weird Al Yankovic. So, in the quaint town of Oakwood, a drive-through joint stood tall, where folks from miles around would come to feast upon it all. A place called Burger Haven, where the food was hot and fast. But little did they know, this day would be a blast. A young man named Ned had just turned 16. He got his driver's license. He was living the dream. That's not a rhyme. That's reaching a little bit, ChatGPT. He grabbed his keys, revved his engine, off he went to the drive-thru with his friends for some nourishment. That's also a little bit reaching for a rhyme. You got to pronounce it a weird way for that to work. As they pulled up to the speaker, their orders they did shout. I'll have a double cheeseburger and a milkshake with a spout. I don't know what that means. But the speaker crackled and the voice said, sorry, no can do. Our ice cream machine is broken, relatable, and our burgers are all through. I don't know what that means. Disappointed and hungry, they drove up to the window to see what they could get and to ease their foodie woes. But the sight that greeted them was a sight they did not expect. Now, this is where it takes a turn, and I do not think this turn exists in the actual song. A mad scientist in a lab coat with a diabolical intellect. Weird Al Yankovic himself with a wild shock of hair. He cackled with glee as he brandished a ray gun in the air. This is not. If this is the song, I need to hear this song, but it does not seem like it is. He said, I've taken over this place, and I've got a wicked plan to make the weirdest food creations that will astound all of man. He zapped the fries with mustard, turning them bright green. I don't know how that happened. He fused pickles with hot dogs, a taste yet to be seen. I feel like people put relish on hot dogs all the time. He turned the buns into rubber and the ketchup into foam. His culinary experiments were like nothing known to home. I think it makes it infinitely funnier that this all rhymes, because they're such stupid rhymes, most of them. Ned and his friends were trapped in a drive-through nightmare as Weird Al cackled on with his mad scientist flair. They had to think quickly to escape this foodie maze and save their taste buds from these bizarre food crazes. They hatched a plan to distract Weird Al's attention as Ned grabbed the ray gun with some quick apprehension. He aimed it at the machine and pressed the button true, reversing the effects of the mad scientist's food coup. The food turned back to normal, the flavors were restored, Weird Al was defeated, his evil plot ignored. The drive-thru was saved thanks to Ned and his crew as they drove off into the sunset with some tasty food to chew. That's an awful rhyme to end it on. That's fast food. Trapped in the drive-thru by Weird Al Yankovic.
So, how accurate is this song?
I don't know. All right. We're researching this together, folks. We're doing it live.
I mean, I researched Whiskey in the Jar just to double check.
Weird Al Yankovic, trapped in the drive-thru. Right, let's look at the lyrics. I looked at this part a lot. Something about them arguing about where to go to dinner, and then they go to the drive-thru. They think that maybe they should go inside. Arguing about chicken sandwiches and cheeseburgers and root beers. I see no mad scientist yet. I see no evil Dr. Weird Al Yankovic yet. Yeah, this is definitely just a song about how much the drive-thru sucks. There's no mention of evil scientists of any kind.
I guess we did go for dramatic readings. So
they were like, this isn't dramatic enough. We gotta spice it up with mad scientists who are also Weird Al Yankovic himself, the man singing the song. That was beautiful.
All right, so I believe you might be familiar with this next song.
Okay.
A lot of the lyrics are mixed in with the actual story. However, it is told in story fashion. So I'm going to see if you know this song. I'm not going to tell you what the song is because I know a lot of people know this song. It's very popular. It's a very popular song.
Okay.
Once upon a time, in a land far away, there was a man and woman who were both feeling restless and dissatisfied with their current relationship. They had been together for a while, but they felt like they were stuck in a rut, and their love had grown stale. One day, the man was flipping through the personal section of the local newspaper when he came across an ad that had caught his eye. It was from a woman who was looking for a man who liked pina coladas and getting caught in the rain. Intrigued, the man responded.
I wonder what song it could be.
Intrigued, the man responded to the ad and arranged to meet the woman at a bar called O'Malley's. When he arrived at the bar, he was surprised to find that the woman he had been corresponding with was none other than his own girlfriend. She had placed the ad in an attempt to inject some incitement back into their relationship. The couple laughed and hugged, realizing that they had been both seeking the same thing all along. As they sat at the bar, sipping on pina coladas...
Wait a minute. Back up. I have a question about the lore of pina coladas and getting caught in the rain. I think I missed the setup here. So, this is a couple. They're dating.
Yes.
And he's responding to this personal ad about pina coladas and getting caught in the rain.
Yes.
Why? Shouldn't the girlfriend be mad about that?
Because their love had grown stale. He was bored.
Okay, I see.
The original song is about a dude who's looking to cheat on his wife and then ends up with his wife.
Ends up cheating on his wife with his wife. What a twist.
Anyway, when he arrived at blah, 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 blah. Oh, so here's the other thing that's wrong. When he arrived at the bar, he was surprised to find that the woman he had been corresponding with was none other than his own girlfriend. She had placed the ad in an attempt to inject some excitement back into their relationship. So she put this ad in the newspaper hoping that he would see it, which is weird. Because anybody can see it on the newspaper, which is weird. But
I feel like there has to be more than one person in the world that really likes pina coladas and getting caught in the rain. This really could have ended in a more in a stranger manner than how it did.
all right, my favorite line is coming up from the story. The
All right,
couple
all
la-
right.
the couple laughed and hugged, realizing they had been both seeking the same thing all along. As they sat at the bar, sipping on pina coladas and caught in the rain outside.
Wow. What a convenient set of circumstances that is befallen.
They felt a renewed sense of passion and adventure. They realized that sometimes you need to shake things up in order to keep your love alive. So, the man and the woman left the bar that night with a newfound appreciation for each other and a renewed commitment to keeping their love strong, and they lived happily ever after thanks to a simple ad and a delicious tropical drink.
How beautiful. How touching was that story?
It was a very good story that stayed relatively true. Like I'm not gonna pick apart it too much. It gets the point across. But anyway, I'll do one more. I'll save the best for last.
Okay, so you'll do one more and then I'll do my other one and you'll do your last one to close us out. Okay.
All right, so this one is one we did talk about after the podcast last week. This song is called Big Iron.
Yes, because you asked me to do what one you should do, and I immediately said Big Iron because that's the only song that I actively like and listen to that is like a plot. Really. So I was being like, Big Iron, do Big Iron.
All right, so I generated it first, and it said nothing about Big Iron or Texas Red.
Wasn't the Ranger's name Big Iron or something in the first one that you
so, but
rolled?
this one has Texas Red in it, so it's a little closer.
No, I think the Outlaw's name was Big Iron. We were like, no, that's Texas Red, and then you were like, no, we have to have the accuracy of Texas Red, and you re-rolled the
Yeah,
thing,
I
and we
did.
got a better
Okay.
one.
All right. In the dusty town of Agua Fria, there was a man who walked the streets with a purpose. His name was Texas Red, and he was a notorious outlaw who had terrorized the countryside for years. He was known for his quick draw and deadly accuracy. No lawman had ever been able to bring him to justice. One day, a stranger rode into town. He was a ranger, and he carried a badge on his crest. His name was Johnny, and he was known for his courage and determination.
Now,
Johnny had
question about this
heard
Ranger.
Hold on. Johnny had heard of Texas Red, and he was on a mission to put an end to the outlaw's reign of terror. I wanted to finish the paragraph before you, so I don't lose my fucking
A
place.
question about this Ranger.
Go ahead.
Does he or does he not have power?
I don't know.
Is
Shut
this
up.
Ranger powerful in any way?
He's known for courage and determination, not his power. I
Sounds
get it.
pretty powerful to me, I think. He seems like a pretty powerful Ranger.
Shut the fuck up. Let me finish the story.
Okay. Proceed, Colo Chew.
Okay, I was waiting for Craig because it disconnected and reconnected within a split second of it itself.
Greg did that or Georg did that? I'm gonna need you to be more specific.
The black bear, Geark.
Thank God. Okay, Craig is still pure. Craig is still good. Geark is having issues. I started OBS just in case Geark and Craig both fail, and I can stitch together what Craig has already gotten successfully with OBS. So by hook or by crook, this podcast will happen. It'll be late if we lose both bots because I'll actually have to do editing work, but it'll come out.
All right, back to the story. As Johnny walked down the street, he could feel the eyes of the townspeople on him. They knew why he was there, and they hoped he could succeed where others had failed. As he approached the saloon, he heard a voice from inside. It was none other than Texas Red, and he was singing a song that had become his anthem. The song was called Big Iron.
Wow. The song about where he dies? Wow.
And it told song was called Big Iron, and it told the story of a gunfighter who had come to town with a reputation that was bigger than life. Johnny knew that he had to act fast before Texas Red had a chance to strike again.
Wait a minute, this is deep, bro.
This is Inception. He burst through the saloon doors.
We're in the song Big Iron. And the plot of the song Big Iron is happening. He walks in.
It's Inception. The plot of Big Iron is happening within the actual song itself, yes. He burst through the saloon doors and faced the outlaw. Texas Red drew his gun, but Johnny was faster. He fired a shot that hit the outlaw right between the eyes, and Texas Red fell to the ground. As the townspeople gathered around, Johnny could feel their gratitude and respect. He had done what others had thought was impossible, but he had put an end to Texas Red's reign of terror. As he rode out of town, he could hear the whispers of the people as they sang the song that had once been Texas Red's anthem, but was now a tribute to the courage of the man who had brought the outlaw to justice.
Oh, okay, I see what this is doing. This is actually really clever.
It's really
because
meta.
Big Iron is a song within the universe of the song Big Iron, and that version of that version of Big Iron is about how cool Texas Red is. And then once Texas Red dies, they make a new Big Iron, and it's about the Ranger that killed Texas Red. Okay, I see.
Oh, God. By the way, this is the first time reading these.
I definitely did not preview mine much either. I did see the mad scientist thing. That was kind of like, all right, I'm just going to save this for the podcast because this obviously took a turn.
I previewed these just enough to be able to be like, this is as close as I'm going to get to the actual song itself. And then I just completely forgot about them.
I did them all on first pass because it was funnier that way. So this other one is also first pass. I would say a bit more accurate than Trapped in the Drive-Thru at least. I can tell that just from looking, but there's some details missing. So this is a retelling of Smooth Criminal by Michael Jackson, which kind of has a plot. I guess the guy attacks Annie, which I don't think gets brought up. So maybe I should have re-rolled. I don't think Annie and whether or not she's okay comes up even once. So, in the heart of the city, where the neon lights shine bright, this one also has rhymes, by the way. There stood a club notorious, where danger lurked each night. A mysterious figure dressed in black from head to toe, with a fedora hat and glowing eyes. He'd put on quite a show. He moved with grace and style, a master of the dance. With mesmerizing steps and spins, he'd leave them in a trance. His name was Mike. Hey Mike, what's up? Known as Smooth Criminal in the scene. His reputation grew as the best dancer ever seen. One fateful night, as the music throbbed, I've never heard of music described as throbbing. The music throbbed and the crowd roared. Mike took to the dance floor and the audience was floored. He glided and moonwalked with finesse and skill. With a flick of his wrist and a nod of his head, Riley? That you don't know how to read the word head now? A nod of his head, he had them all thrill. I don't know if that's a thing.
Are they mixing up Thriller and Smooth Criminal?
Perhaps. But as the night wore on, a commotion broke the beat as the club was raided by thugs who brought their heat. They demanded money and valuables with guns in hand. Why does this all turn to violence that's not even real? Chaos ensued as fear spread across the dance floor sand. Why is there sand on the dance floor? But Mike stood his ground with a steely gaze. He wouldn't back down, even in this craze. I hate this so much. The rhyming is so bad. Actually, I love it, is what I mean to say. He used his dance moves as a weapon, swift and smooth, dodging bullets with flair in a daring groove. He spun and twirled, avoiding every shot. With lightning fast reflexes, he gave it all he's got. He fought with a dance, his body a deadly weapon, as he outmaneuvered the criminals with a style that was second to none. Now, what I want to know is this actually? I'm trying to like game theory this, right? Like, where did the AI get this? Is this the plot of the arcade slash Sega Genesis classic Michael Jackson Moonwalker? Is that what this is? That would be my guess. If I had to make a bet as to what this is based on, this might loosely be the plot of Michael Jackson Moonwalker for the Sega Genesis and arcade machines. Uh, where was I? I figured it out. He spun and twirled, or steely gaze, dodging bullets with flair in a daring groove. Spun and twirled, a really good shot. With lightning fast reflexes, gave it all he's got. He fought with a dance, his body a deadly weapon, as he outmaneuvered the criminals with a style that was second to none. With each beat and rhythm, he danced his way through, taking down the thugs one by one in a dance battle true. His moves were a spectacle, the sight to behold, as he defeated the criminals with a dance story to be told. When the last villain fell and the danger was no more, Mike stood victorious, his feet sore, but his spirit sore. I don't know what that means. It says that, let's analyze this sentence together. Colo, I don't even know if you're still with me at this point. I've just been going on. I have not verified that you can hear me this entire time.
No, I'm listening. I'm letting you tell the story.
Let's analyze this sentence together, Colochu. Okay. Mike stood victorious, his feet sore, but his spirit sore. Sore is spelled the same way both times. It's S-O-R-E. What does that mean?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Dude, I love AI. AI is so great.
It's beautiful. Because it's so impressive that it even does this much.
What I'm trying to do is see if what you're telling me has any connection to the actual Michael Jackson music video for Smooth Criminal. And it does not. It does not. I don't know where this AI gets any of this information for Smooth Criminal, but there's nothing.
I think it has something to do with the plot of Michael Jackson Moonwalker. That's my guess.
But continue.
All right. So when the last villain fell and the danger was no more, Mike stood victorious, his feet sore, but his spirit also sore, I guess. The crowd the crowd erupted in applause, cheering his name, for he had proved that dance could be a weapon in the game. As the night came, that again. As the night came to an end and the chaos was contained, Mike slipped away into the shadows, his mission attained. He disappeared into the darkness, leaving a legend behind, the Smooth Criminal, the dancing hero of a one-of-a-kind kinds. Now, I believe the Smooth Criminal is actually a man who, with the power of dance and grooves, murdered a woman named Annie. I think that's who the Smooth Criminal is.
That would make sense, yeah.
Annie, are you okay? Man, a very specific fact about my childhood is Smooth Criminal was one of my favorite songs forever, but I did not hear the Michael Jackson version until like maybe 4 years ago. The version I knew and the version that had been one of my favorite songs of all time for a long time, and probably it's still up there. I do like this a lot still. Is the Alien Ant Farm cover of Smooth Criminal?
That's the first one I heard too. That is the first one I heard too.
It's pretty good. It was in Guitar Hero Decades for the Nintendo DS. That's why I knew it. Dude, the Guitar Hero games for the DS, that's a lost art. That shit was sick. With the fucking guitar grip, bro. That shit went hard. But yeah, that's the story of the Smooth Criminal, Mike, who killed a man with his dance.
Okay, I kind of like this one better, so I'm gonna scrap.
Oh, did you live generate one?
I've generated one that I've already done, but it had way too many of the lyrics in it, and I'm trying to go for story, not song. So let's see if you can figure out what song this is. All right. I want to
All
see if
right.
you actually know what this song is.
Well, you said it's one you've already did, so I've got a pool of options. I think I'll be able to narrow it down.
No. I haven't read a story for this one yet.
Oh, I thought you meant like you redid one you already did. You liked the results better.
No. The last one I was going to read had a lot of lyrics, so I decided to regenerate the last one I have not read yet. All right, here it is. In a desert town nestled among the hills stood a grand hotel that shone like gold in the sunlight. It beckoned to travelers from far and wide, promising them a haven from the heat and a place to rest their weary bones. One such traveler, a weary man with a guitar on his back, arrived at the hotel's doorstep. The doors swung open to welcome him, and he stepped inside, eager to find some respite from his journey.
I know what song this is.
What song is this?
This is Hotel California.
As he walked through the lobby, he noticed a strange sense of foreboding in the air. The other guests, dressed in finery and sipping cocktails, seemed distant and aloof, as if lost in their own thoughts. But the man shrugged it off and made his way to his room. That night he lay in bed. He heard a faint melody drifting through the halls. It was haunting and beautiful, and he could not resist the urge to follow it. He wandered through the dark corridors until he reached a door marked "Welcome to the Hotel California."
Wow.
Inside, he found a strange scene unfolding before him. A group of musicians played a melancholy tune, while a woman in a flowing dress danced alone in the center of the room. The man was transfixed, drawn in by the music and the woman's ethereal beauty. But as the night wore on, he began to feel trapped. The hotel doors were locked, and he couldn't find his way back to his room. The other guests, once so distant, now seemed to be closing in on him, their faces twisted in malice. The man realized too late that he had fallen into a trap, that the Hotel California was a prison from which he could never escape. He played his guitar until his fingers bled, but the music only echoed back to him, mocking him with its empty promises. And so he remained a prisoner in the Hotel California, doomed to play his guitar and listen to the haunting melody for eternity.
Wow. What a beautiful tale.
Do you want me to read the original one that I had?
Sure, go ahead.
The sun sets over the California desert as a weary traveler approaches a mysterious hotel standing alone on a hill. As he steps through the doors, he's greeted by a dimly lit lobby and a haunting melody playing in the background. The traveler soon realizes that he has entered the infamous Hotel California. So that first paragraph basically describes the entire story that what I just read. As he checks, kind of. As he checks in, the receptionist gives him a sly smile and whispers, "We're all just prisoners here of our own device." The traveler shrugs it off and heads to his room, hoping for a good night's sleep. But something feels off. He hears strange whispers in the hallway, and the air is thick with the eerie energy. As he tries to leave, he finds that the doors are locked, and there seems to be no escape from the hotel's clutches. As the night goes on, the traveler meets other guests, all of whom seem trapped and unable to leave. The hotel bar is filled with shady characters, including a woman who dances in the courtyard and voices down the corridor that all seem to call out to him. Desperate to escape, the traveler tries to leave the hotel, but it seems as though the hotel has become a prison and he is unable to escape its grasp.
It seems as though that he can check out anytime he wants, but he can never leave.
Shut the fuck up! You're gonna ruin the goddamn story. The traveler soon realizes he's trapped in the hotel, doomed to spend eternity as a prisoner of the hotel's twisted ways. As the haunting melody plays in the background, the traveler realizes too late that he has been lured into the trap by the Hotel California. The lyrics of the song come back to him, and he understands the true meaning behind the receptionist warning. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave.
Oh, man.
So they're both really good. I don't know which one I like better, but I figured I'd read both.
I decided I was gonna live generate one while you were doing that. And I've got a pretty accurate result, except for one weird detail that's really funny. So it's pretty good. So we're gonna read this one. For some reason, it starts. ChatGPT has decided it's actually going to tell me a story as if it's a person telling me a story, because it starts with "Gather round, folks."
See, I had a few of mine start with, "Okay, I'll retell the story of the Hotel California," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna leave that out." But no, I get it. I know
I thought I
what you
was
mean.
gonna leave this out, but I like that it's "Gather round, folks." Like they're being so casual about it. Gather around, folks, for I have a tale to tell of love and heartache, set in the unforgiving terrain of the Wild West. It's a story of a young cowboy named Felina and the fateful romance that would seal his fate forevermore. Now, that's the name of the cowboy. Keep that in your mind. Keep that in your pocket, I guess. As the story goes, Felina was a vision of beauty, with eyes as deep as the Texas sky and a smile that could light up the darkest of nights. When our hero first laid eyes on her, he was immediately taken by her charm and grace. He knew that he had to have her no matter what the cost. Now let's go back for a second, ChatGPT. So it's a young cowboy named Felina. And Felina is also a beautiful woman. Now I've heard this song before. I picked a song that I know this time. Felina is the woman, but ChatGPT has decided that Felina is both the name of the cowboy and the woman. This is the love story of Felina and Felina. So there you go. He knew that he had to have her, no matter the cost. But as with all great love stories, there were obstacles in his path, you see, Colo Chew. Felina was already spoken for, promised to a ruthless outlaw named Sanchez. Despite the danger, the cowboy couldn't help but pursue his love for her, sneaking around to see her in secret. But as fate would have it, their love would not go unnoticed for long. One fateful day, Sanchez discovered the illicit affair and flew into a jealous rage. The two men faced off in a deadly duel, with only one emerging victorious. As the cowboy lay dying in Felina's arms, he knew that he would never see El Paso again. He, the cowboy Felina, looking upon his true love, Felina. But in that moment, he found solace in the memories of their love, knowing that it would live on forever. His dying breaths were filled with the bittersweet realization that his love for Felina had both saved him and doomed him to an early grave. And so we are left with a tale of love and loss, of heartache and hope, all set against the backdrop of the Wild West. And this is when it gets completely fourth wall breaking meta. Marty Robbins' haunting ballad has captured the heart of listeners for generations, a testament to the enduring power of a great story and the timeless allure of true love. How beautiful. That was El Paso by Marty Robbins. A very good song. I like that song a lot. And I just find it really funny that they got it mostly right, but it was like, yeah, the cowboy's name is Felina. That sounds right.
That's why I like AI. AI is so fun.
The love story of Felina and Felina will be remembered by generations to come.
Dude, we definitely got to do AI stories again.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I like that.
I'm trying to work on my storytelling, on like inflections in my voice for things that are going on in the story, so it's not just monotone the entire time.
I'm very good at that. I don't know if I was really putting my all into it this time.
I
But
was trying. It's relatively low effort today, but
for some reason, effort did not even cross my mind, which is like, I know that's like an awful thing to say, but just it's me saying it in a funny way. It's not as actually as negligent as it sounds. But you just brought up the possibility of being like, I'm not a very good storyteller. I wasn't doing a lot of inflection, and I was like, man, the thought of putting effort into my inflection and storytelling did not even cross my mind.
well, see, I know I'm not good at storytelling because I do come off as monotone sometimes, especially when I'm just like talking on the podcast and stuff. But like, I tried a little bit,
I think I
but
did it a little bit naturally. I think especially
yeah,
with the
it's not that
rhyming,
bad.
I definitely inflected accordingly.
But no, we definitely got to do this again because this is a great idea. I Kolochu have had 3 really, really good ideas that I'm proud of that I tell a lot of people about.
So okay, I know the 3 ideas. I know them immediately. I was gonna be like, what are they? But I do know them immediately. It's the caveman, the game show, and this.
Yeah, because those are really good ideas. I'm waiting for Riley's big reveal. He's been hiding this since episode 1. He's been waiting.
You see, the thing is, anytime I have a really good idea, it usually goes to the issue crew. So it's your job to have the good ideas around here. If you're looking for my ideas, they're always going to be the second ideas because the first ones happen.
Anyway, I'm 3 for 3 so far in terms of
Oh,
like ideas.
fuck. Oh, no. The bots are being silly again.
It's
Oh,
fine.
no. We're fine. It made it through all the stories. I don't think it actually disconnected for that long. Let's just cut our losses and get out of here before it gets worse.
I mean, we just hit an hour, and there was like no negative space, no negative anything going on the entire time. There
Yeah,
was
we're
no
fine. This
silence
will
or
hit
anything.
time, and even if it doesn't, it won't be by much. Thank you for listening to Detour Ahead, everybody. Kolochi, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter as Kolochu54, and you can find me on the YouTubes. I upload Pokemon content.
Hey, everybody. So you can find me soon. I haven't set this up. I've started setting this up this morning, but I did not have time to finish it. I finally did it. This is the first podcast where I'm announcing that I've finally succumbed, and I'm going to do it. It's already done. I just have to put it where it goes. I did make a link tree. Which is what every human being on the planet has been telling me to do for like a year and a half now. Because the Riely podcast mega feed is nothing except for a link tree now. Like I put no podcast there, except that's not entirely true. Sometimes there is stuff on there. I did link the Riely podcast mega feed in my link tree, but I have finally made a link tree, so I don't have to send you to an arbitrary podcast feed to get all of my links. So that will be pinned on my Twitter at Riely Tweets soon. The link is Linktree, which is it's stylized as linktr.ee slash somebody took Riely, some woman, some bitch. She's probably not a bitch. I'm sure she's a great person. But some
No. We're gonna go after this Riley woman because we're still
somebody
gonna go
took
after the original Kolochu.
somebody took the Linktree link at Riely. My spelling.
Just do with what I do. Go, Riley54.
No, I actually made it a joke. It's so now it's Linktree linktr.ee slash Riely Cinematic Universe. That is my Linktree.
That's fair.
So you can find all the productions that are a part of the Riely Cinematic Universe at that Linktree. But yeah, that's it.
You gotta contact this woman, Riley, and bring her on.
We had to get Riely on the podcast. And I had to ask her what it's like to be the only other person on the planet with it spelled this way.
She got jealous of you. That's why she wants to be you.
I think she might be out to get me because I've noticed the username that spelling of Riely taken on a lot of websites lately when I didn't before because it's a very uncommon spelling. I think this woman uses the internet and several different services on the internet and is just making accounts with my spelling of the name, and we're gonna have to have a fight. We're gonna have to do like what they did with the Battle of the Michaels, I think it was. Where some guy just made a Facebook group with every person he could find named Michael and was like, at this day, at this time, on these coordinates, we're all gonna fight, and whoever wins can keep the name. we have to do that. Me and this woman, the two only people with this spelling of my name. But all right, gamers, thank you for listening to Detour Ahead. We will see you next week. Sorry if there was any missing content from the bots. I don't know quite how much damage it did. I will try to do a quality check before I let it air. But sorry about any hiccups. And sorry for rambling about hiccups that don't exist if there isn't any. And thank you for listening to Detour Ahead. I've been Riely.
I have been Colo Chew.
We'll see you next time. Bye.